HOA fined me for dog walking on MY land, so I bought their clubhouse and closed it permanently. Have you ever wondered what happens when a neighborhood's rule-obsessed enforcers push a homeowner too far? For Ethan Caldwell, a rugged outdoorsman with a love for his dogs, that question became a reality when his HOA dared to fine him for walking his loyal companions on his own land. What followed was a clash of wills, a shocking twist of fate, and a bold move that left an entire community reeling. Ethan had always been a man who valued freedom. After years of city life, he bought a sprawling 5-acre ranch on the edge of a suburban HOA-governed community, craving space for his 2 German shepherds, Max and Luna, to roam. His property wasn't even part of the HOA's jurisdiction, but that didn't stop Karen Whitmore, the HOA board president, from sending him a violation notice. The letter claimed Ethan was breaking rules by letting his dogs trespass on a sliver of HOA-owned land, a narrow strip of grass along the community's entrance road that Ethan's property line technically crossed when he took his dogs for their morning walks. The fine? A staggering $500, with threats of more if he didn't comply. Ethan was livid. He'd bought his ranch specifically to escape petty regulations, and now this self-appointed neighborhood tyrant was trying to control his own land? He checked the property records. The strip of grass was indeed HOA-owned, but his dogs were leashed and he always cleaned up after them. The rule, buried in the HOA's bylaws, vaguely prohibited unauthorized pet activity on common areas. Ethan called a meeting with Karen, hoping to reason with her. She arrived at his doorstep, clipboard in hand, her pinched face radiating authority. "Your dogs are a nuisance," she snapped, ignoring his explanation that he wasn't even an HOA member. "Pay the fine, or we'll escalate this to legal action." The threat ignited something in Ethan. He wasn't just going to roll over. He dug into the HOA's rules, scouring their covenants and bylaws for loopholes. That's when he stumbled across an unexpected opportunity. The HOA's clubhouse, the crown jewel of their community, was on a separate parcel of land, and it was up for sale. The HOA had been struggling financially after mismanaging funds on frivolous projects, and they were quietly looking to offload the property to cover debts. Ethan, a successful contractor with savings to spare, saw his chance. He contacted the real estate agent, made a cash offer, and within weeks, he owned the clubhouse lock, stock, and barrel. But here's where the story takes a turn. Ethan didn't just want to make a point. He wanted justice. He learned from a neighbor, Tom, a retired lawyer who'd clashed with Karen years before, that the HOA had a history of overreaching. Tom revealed a bombshell. Karen had been fining non-HOA residents like Ethan for years, pocketing a portion of the fines through a shady arrangement with the HOA's treasurer. Armed with this knowledge, Ethan decided to hit back where it hurt most. He announced that the clubhouse where the community held barbecues, yoga classes, and their precious annual gala was now his private property, and he was shutting it down permanently. The confrontation came at the next HOA meeting, held in a cramped community center since Ethan had padlocked the clubhouse. Karen, flanked by her loyal board members, demanded Ethan reopen the building. "You can't do this to us," she shrieked, her voice echoing off the walls. "That clubhouse is the heart of our community." Ethan stood up, his broad shoulders filling the room with quiet menace. He slid a folder across the table, copies of property deeds, proof of his purchase, and a detailed log of Karen's questionable fine practices, courtesy of Tom's legal sleuthing. "You fined me for walking my dogs on my own land," Ethan said, his voice steady but cold. "Now you've lost your precious clubhouse. Maybe next time you'll think twice before bullying people who aren't even in your HOA." The room erupted. Residents, many of whom had grown tired of Karen's iron-fisted rule, started whispering. Some were outraged at Ethan, calling him spiteful. Others, especially those who'd been fined for minor infractions like unapproved mailbox colors or overgrown shrubs, began to cheer. Karen's face turned crimson as she stammered, "This is illegal. We'll sue." But Tom, grinning from the back, chimed in, "Good luck with that. Ethan owns the property free and clear. You've got no case." The meeting descended into chaos, with Karen storming out, vowing to fight back. In the weeks that followed, Karen's empire crumbled. The evidence of her fine-skimming scheme spread like wildfire, thanks to Tom's discreet leaks to the neighborhood's social media group. Residents demanded an audit, and the treasurer resigned in disgrace. Karen, facing mounting pressure, stepped down as president, her reputation in tatters. The HOA scrambled to find a new meeting space, but without the clubhouse, their sense of community faltered. Neighbors who once gathered for pool parties now bickered over who was to blame. Ethan, meanwhile, turned the clubhouse into a private workshop for his contracting business, occasionally letting Max and Luna run free on his lawn. The fallout wasn't just about Karen. Ethan's bold move sparked a deeper conversation among the residents. Some saw him as a hero, a man who stood up to a power-hungry HOA and won. Others thought he'd gone too far, punishing an entire community for one woman's actions. The truth, as always, lay in the gray. Ethan hadn't set out to destroy the neighborhood, but he wasn't about to let Karen's overreach go unanswered. His victory was bittersweet, a reminder that standing up for yourself can come at a cost, but sometimes that cost is worth it. In the end, Ethan found peace on his ranch, walking Max and Luna under the wide open sky, free from Karen's clipboard and her fines. The neighborhood, fractured but wiser, began to rebuild, with a new board that promised transparency and fairness. As for the clubhouse, it stood as a silent monument to one man's refusal to bow down, a testament to the power of pushing back against petty tyranny. What do you think? Was Ethan's retaliation a justified stand against injustice, or did he take it too far by closing the community's heart? Share your thoughts. Where do you draw the line between standing up for your rights and burning it all down?